Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Femmy Anggia Murni. I am from first 12 grade science. Well, my teacher, in this video I would like to present my mind mapping about the material we have learned. In this slide, I would like to present about application letter, conditional sentence, and the last about news item text. First material is application letter. Well, have you ever seen a job application letter? Do you think that it will be useful for us to learn about it? Yes, actually learning about what is and how to make a job application letter is very important. Maybe at the time some of you will think about how to apply job. Is it right? So, hopefully, this topic will give you a bright insight about that. There are 6 things that we were going to learn. Number 1 is definition. Number 2 is purpose or social function. Number 3 is generic structure. Number 4 is language feature. Number 5 is example of job application letter. And the last one, number 6, is tips and tricks how to write application letter. Okay, we will start from the first one is about the definition. What is a job application letter? Application letter is an official letter to apply for a job submit to a company to get a specific job in accordance with the announcement of a vacancy. Okay, the second one is that we learn about the social function or purpose of application letter. Okay, the social function of job application letter is that first is to attract the attention of an employer. It acts as a cover letter for the applicant resume and should provide enough personal information to convince the reader or the employer to grant the applicant and interview the qualification. Provide a potential employer should be included on the resume. And the second one, the social function of application letter is that to build positive image of the applicant for the suitability for a job being applied with the qualification with someone possessed. Okay, so that's why the application letter should first let the employer know what position the applicant is applying for. And the second one is that give strong reason why the employer should select the applicant and even accept him or her. Okay, the third one is about generic structure or the part of application letter. Okay, number 1 is about the date. The date is when the applicant sent the job application letter. Number 2 is heading. Heading is the information about applicant name and address, and maybe you can edit by email. Also, number 3 is inside address. Inside address is contain the name of the employer, his or her position, company name, and address of the company or organization. And the number 4 is salutation. Usually we use the word like dear sir or dear ma'am. And the 5th one is about the letter. The letter is consists about 3 things or the 3 item paragraph. The first paragraph we call this one into the opening. The second one is middle paragraph or the body of paragraph. And the third one is the closing paragraph. And the 6th one about the complimentary closing. Usually we can use the word like yours sincerely or yours faithfully. And the last part of application letter is about the signature. And don't forget to write down the name of the applicant. Okay, here a part of job application letter, starting from the date, heading, inside address, salutation, letter, include about opening, body and closing, and then complementary clausing. And the last one is signature. The fourth one is that about language feature. In application letter, the first one is formal language. The second one using personal pronoun like I, you, and then number 3 is that sometimes use simple present tense to convey hope, and then sometimes is you can also use simple past tense to describe about experience. Number 4 is use the special expression. Okay, for example, like dear sir, best regard, your faithfully. Okay, and the fifth one is about target subject line. Include the job title and branding statement, and the number 6 is explain the obvious reason why the applicant is writing in the opening statement. And the seventh one is that explain the applicant's accomplishment which the company may move to hire the applicant. Okay, now we go on to what have to be considered before we make a job application letter. Something you can do it is that first write your resume completely. Use a formal format. Use a polite language. Sell yourself. Promote yourself, okay? Submit on time, based on the date, and then add your CV and enclose any document that are needed. The second material is about conditional sentence. There are 3 things that we are going to learn. Number 1 is definition. Number 2 is type of conditional sentence. And the last one, number 3, is example of conditional sentence. Okay, first, do you know what is conditional sentence? Conditional sentence are used to speculate about what could happen, what might happen, and what we wish would happen. There are 4 types of if clause. The first is type 0, the second is type 1, the third is type 2, and the last one, the fourth, is type 3. The first is type 0. This type of conditional sentence is to express fact or something that is always true. The 0 conditional is called the factual conditional. The tense is but part of the sentence is the simple present. We use the 0 conditional to talk about habit, fact, and truth. In 0 conditional sentence, the word if can usually be replaced by the word when without changing the meaning. As an example of the following sentence, if we had the water, it boils, so if we had water, it will boil. This is a truth, right, or a fact. Let's try to have the water, for sure it will boil like that. The next example is the following sentence. Yes, if it is rain, it is wet. Then, for example, if the rain is wet, this is a fact or a truth. So, it is not an assumption. The next example is another example. If I eat a lot, I gain weight, right? If we eat a lot, we will gain weight. So this is a type 0 conditional sentence. The pattern is if plus simple present tense and simple present tense. Type 1. The type 1 conditional is used to refer to the present or future where the situation is real. The type 1 conditional refers to a possible condition and its probable result. In this sentence, the if clause is in the simple present and the result is in the simple future. Example of the first sentence: if it rains, I will not come to your house like that. now this is possibilities can be going rain, be also be going to be going possibility in the present or possibility in the future. The next example is like this: if I study hard, I will pass the test in this sentence. There is also a possibility that you could pass the test because you studied diligently, so that you did not pass the test, right? The pattern is if plus simple present subject plus will plus bare infinitive, or we can change it like this: I'll pass the exam if I study hard. So you can reverse it, don't be worried about that. Type 2 is used to refer to a time that is now or any time, and a situation that is unreal. The sentences are not based on fact. An example sentence is, if I win the competition, yes, according to it, I will buy a new phone. But the truth is, this sentence is, I didn't win. Like that, so it's just something not real. The second example is like this: if I have a lot of money, I will buy a new car. But the fact is, I don't have much money, because this is an unreal statement. The fact of this sentence is that I don't have much money. Type 3 is used to refer to a time that is in the past and a situation that is contrary to reality. The fact based on are the opposite of what is expressed, used to refer an unreal past condition and its probable result in a past. An example sentence would be, if I have studied hard, I will pass such an exam. So the truth is, I didn't study hard and I didn't pass the test. The pattern is if plus past perfect tense subject plus would plus have plus verb 3. Fact, use the past tense. The last one material is about item text. There are 3 things that we were going to learn. Number 1 is definition. Number 2 is purpose or social function. And the last one, number 3, is example of use item text. Okay, we will start from the first one, is about the definition. What is use item text? It is a text that tells an information of event or newsworthy event of the day. Okay, the second one is that we learn about the social function or purpose use item text. Okay, the social function of use item text is to tell the information of important event or newsworthy event of the day. Okay, the third one is about generic structure or the part of news item text. Okay, number 1 is about the main event or newsworthy event. Number 2 is background event or newsworthy event. And number 3 is source. Okay, if we sit at the top, it is called a headline. Then in the next section there is an event background or news word of the event or what's news. And the last one is source. Well, that's all from me. I beg your pardon if I have some mistake. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.